Good evening and welcome to News at 6 on Rajya Sabha TV. I'm Aishwarya Kapoor. Well, government formation wait continues in Jammu and Kashmir. We'll get you details and tell you why. Well, that is the top focus this hour. Also in the top international news, we take a look at US imposing new sanctions on Iraq. First up, the headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi starts on a two-day visit to Northeast. Says government leaving no stone unturned to ensure development in the region. BJP confident of continuing ruling coalition in Jammu and Kashmir. PDP keeps cards close to chest after authorizing party chief Mehbooba Mufti to decide on the alliance. Merchandise exports shrink for 13th month in a row. Volatile currencies, sluggish global demand, domestic infrastructure problems hamper manufacturers. Union Minister Bandaru Dattatreya booked under SC/ST Act after Dalit student commits suicide in Hyderabad. Government sends two-member fact-finding team to find out the facts. And a day after global economic sanctions are removed on Iran after a deal over its nuclear program, US imposes fresh curbs on ballistic missile program. On the top story, Prime Minister Narendra Modi arrived in Gangtok, Sikkim on a two-day visit today. He will inaugurate the Sustainable Agriculture Conference and declare Sikkim as the first fully organic state of the country. Before leaving, Modi tweeted a series of tweets and said that his government is leaving no stone unturned to fulfill development aspirations of the Northeast. Among the programs are an interaction with the youth of the Assam, students of IIT, NIT and the central universities of the Northeast. Meanwhile, suspense over the government formation in Jammu and Kashmir continues. That is, a day after PDP legislators formally authorized their party president Mehbooba Mufti to take a final call on the issue. Meanwhile, the BJP has expressed hope that their alliance with the PDP will continue.
मुफ्ती साहब की वफात के बाद जो सूरत हाल पैदा हो गई है रियासत में और हमारी पार्टी में, उसके ताल्लुक से कोई 4 घंटे हमारी गुफ्तगू हो गई, 5 घंटे, और सब लीडर्स ने अपना अपना पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू दे दिया कि किस तरह से मुफ्ती साहब के विजन को आगे लिया जाए.
Positive signals coming from the PDP over forming a government in alliance with the BJP in Jammu and Kashmir. The party held 5-hour marathon meeting on Sunday at the residence of party chief Mehbooba Mufti. The party said it has not set any conditions for government formation with the BJP and praised NDA's effort in fostering better relations with Pakistan despite the Pathankot terror attack. However, it did not give any deadline for government formation. After the meet, the BJP expressed hope that the coalition will continue.
जो हमारा एजेंडा ऑफ अलायंस है वो हमारे लिए एक मुकद्दस दस्तावेज है. इट्स अ सेक्रेट डॉक्यूमेंट फॉर अस, और उसमें मुफ्ती साहब के होते हुए बहुत सारी प्रोग्रेस हो गई है. लेकिन आगे क्या करना है उसके लिए पार्टी ने पार्टी की सदर महबूबा मुफ्ती को ऑथराइज किया है कि वो जो भी इसमें डिसीजन लेना चाहें उसको उनको इख्तियार.
पीडीपी ने कल एक मीटिंग करके सरकार बनाने के विषय में उनका विचार उन्होंने उजागर किया है. अच्छी बात है कि उन्होंने अपना विचार ये कहा कि जो मुफ्ती साहब बीजेपी के साथ मिलकर जो सरकार बनाए थे उसी व्यवस्था को आगे जारी रखने के पक्ष में वो लोग हैं.
Meanwhile, National Conference patron Farooq Abdullah on Sunday called for dissolution of the Jammu and Kashmir Assembly and holding of fresh elections if the PDP and BJP fail to form a government. He also backtracked on his statement a day earlier that his National Conference was ready to discuss government formation if the BJP approached it.
मैंने कहा कि हुकूमत बनानी चाहिए पीडीपी को और बीजेपी को, क्योंकि इनको मैंडेट है, ये बनाए. जहाँ तक दूसरा सवाल उन्होंने किया, मैंने उसे कहा कि साहब कोई भी चीज़ जो है उस पर गौर कर सकती है वर्किंग कमेटी, कोई फैसला हम इस बार पे नहीं कर सकते, मगर हमारे पास मैंडेट नहीं है लोगों का।
There was uncertainty over the continuation of PDP-BJP alliance in Jammu and Kashmir after the death of Chief Minister Mufti Mohammed Saeed on the 7th of January. Presently, the state is under governor's rule. In the 87-member assembly, the PDP has 27 MLAs while the BJP has 25. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And for more on this, let's go across to my colleague Vishal Daya, who's joining us from a newsroom. Vishal, now PDP has given clear indications that they would like to continue the alliance with the BJP without any conditions. So the question remains, why is the suspense of a government formation continuing in the state?
Well, yes, exactly. That's the big question, and that's a question which even some leaders in the PDP leave apart. Those in the BJP and other opposition parties are seeking answers too. But in reality, all the answers are with just one person and one person alone. That's the PDP president, Mehbooba Mufti. And in fact, if you look at the signals and statements which are coming in from the PDP camp, specifically after that meeting which the PDP had yesterday, the core group meeting, which lasted for several hours. It is clear now that the PDP would like to continue its alliance with the BJP. But when and how? These are two questions which only Mehbooba Mufti can answer, and she has maintained a stoic silence so far. She has not yet spoken to the media. She has not yet given a specific statement or a formal statement. Rather, leaders from a party, spokesperson of PDP have been maintaining so far, and after yesterday's meeting, that the alliance is likely to continue. The BJP leaders and legislators are also keeping their fingers crossed. Obviously, there is some elbow room which, politically speaking, Mehbooba Mufti might be looking forward to in the coming days, since she is expected to be the next chief minister. And what those, talks which might be going on, back channel talks between both the parties, neither the PDP nor the BJP is ready to divulge as of now. Maybe they're not talking as of now as well. But then clearly what remains to be seen is, when will Mehbooba Mufti break her silence? Earlier, we saw that it was indicated once the mourning period for Mufti Saeed, that's 4 days, is over. Yes. Then Mehbooba Mufti will take over as Chief Minister. Then it was extended to 7 days. But effectively, now it is around 9 to 10 days since the President's rule, or rather the Governor's rule, has been imposed in the state of Jammu and Kashmir. So obviously, all political parties, and specifically the BJP, is waiting with bated breath for Mehbooba Mufti take a final call, because the indications as of now are clear that PDP will go along with the BJP. Mehbooba Mufti will become the chief minister if that happens. But when will that happen is something which only Mehbooba Mufti can answer.
All right, Vishal, thank you so much for that. So there is an inexplicable delay in the government formation as far as the state of Jammu and Kashmir is concerned. There was a marathon meeting of PDP yesterday. And after that, there were clear indications that the PDP would like to continue with the BJP as far as government formation is concerned. But when is that going to happen? That is the big question. Meanwhile, news coming in from the south of the country in a tragic incident. One of the 5 Dalit scholars expelled by the University of Hyderabad committed suicide on Sunday by hanging himself at a hostel. Now, the university has ordered a probe into the incident, while an FIR has been filed against Union Minister Bandaru Dattatreya, alleging abetment to suicide.
Tension on the campus at University of Hyderabad, where a student committed suicide in the boys' hostel on Sunday. Dalit research student Rohit Vemula was expelled 12 days ago, along with 4 other students, for allegedly attacking another group of students.
I need an explanation from BC and registrar. I've been here from 8:30. So till now it is 4 hours. So even till now VC didn't come here and he didn't give any explanation. I need an immediate explanation, and I need him right now. So I need to take the body for the post-mortem.
Unconfirmed reports stated that cases of abetment to suicide were booked against the union minister and 3 others.
उसी रिप्रेजेंटेशन को मैंने मिनिस्ट्री को फॉरवर्ड किया. उन्होंने क्या कार्रवाई किया मुझे पता नहीं, लेकिन जो संगठन हुआ है उससे हमको कोई बीजेपी को या हमको किसी को कुछ वास्ता नहीं है, कुछ संबंध नहीं है.
I just wanted to throw light on a letter that the Central Union Minister, Mr. Dattatreya, had written to the HRD Minister, Smriti Irani ji. This is a fight between ABVP and ASA, Ambedkar Students Association, and unfortunate that central ministers are involving and siding a student union which supports their party organization.
The incident had echoes in New Delhi as well. Students held a protest outside the HRD ministry where police used water cannons on the demonstrators.
This government has pressurized the university to take action on Dalit students. This is gross injustice, and we demand that the VC should be sacked, the Bangaru Dattatreya minister should be removed, and the HRD ministry and the government should give answer on this matter.
Friends said 28-year-old Vemula came from a poor background. He held a scholarship under the University Grants Commission's Junior Research Fellowship program. His suicide note reportedly mentions his dreams of becoming a writer and scientist. It also states his frustrations and the problems on the campus. Vemula alleged that he had not received his fellowship money for several months. Bureau report for Rajya Sabha Television.
And news coming in from the national capital. Well, Sunday's ink attack on Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal sparked a war of words today, with Aam Aadmi Party blaming the BJP and the Delhi police for the shocking incident. Now, Bhavna Arora, the woman who threw ink on Kejriwal, has been arrested and a case has been registered against her.
The ink attack incident on Sunday blowing up into a war of words between the Aam Aadmi Party and the BJP. AAP government termed the incident as part of BJP conspiracy. With just few days left to his retirement, the Delhi Police Commissioner B.S. Basi also came under fire from the AAP that called a major security lapse. BJP's Shazia Ilmi demanded an apology from AAP leaders.
अगर जनता के बीच फंक्शन में आके कोई व्यक्ति इंक फेंक रहा है और पुलिस हाथ पे हाथ रखे हुए बैठी हुई है, वहाँ एक कंपनी हो, दो कंपनी हो, उससे फर्क नहीं पड़ता। एक भी सिपाही अगर खड़ा है और वो वहाँ उसको रोक नहीं रहा है बल्कि होने दे रहा है, और उसके बाद जो व्यक्ति ने इंक फेंक के जा रहा है वो बाहर घूम रहा है आराम से मीडिया में बाइट देते हुए, और पुलिस कोई एक्शन नहीं ले रही है, तो क्यों ना माना जाए कि पुलिस की मिलीभगत थी इसमें।
मैं स्याही फेंकने की घटना को तो उचित नहीं मानता, मैं उसकी निंदा करता हूँ, लेकिन मुझे भी ऐसा लगता है कि ये एक राजनीतिक स्टंट हो सकता है, क्योंकि अक्सर देखा गया है जब कहीं कोई इलेक्शन होने वाला होता है तो अरविंद केजरीवाल जी और आम आदमी पार्टी कुछ ऐसी घटना करती है जिसमें उन्हीं के लोग इन्वॉल्व होते हैं और उससे वो पब्लिक की सिंपैथी बटोरने की कोशिश करते हैं।
Bhavna Arora, the woman who threw ink at Kejriwal, has been arrested. She faces a case. Police claim that she belongs to the Aam Aadmi Sena, a splinter group of Aam Aadmi Party formed by party rebels. Bhavna claimed there was a CNG scam behind the odd even scheme.
दो ग्राउंड थे, एक तो कि भी इसके बिहाइंड कोई षड्यंत्र है या ये इंडिविजुअल एक्ट है, और इसकी बैकग्राउंड क्या है, इसके एंटीसीडेंट्स क्या हैं कि उसके, वो जानने के लिए जरूरी था।
On Sunday, Bhavna Arora threw ink at Arvind Kejriwal at a public rally held to celebrate the success of odd even scheme. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And in other news, the Supreme Court today adjourned the 1992 Babri Masjid demolition case for 4 weeks. Now, this was after several parties sought adjournment for submitting files related to the case. Now, the ruling came after over a petition moved by the CBI against quashing of criminal conspiracy charges against some BJP leaders. Now, of the two sets of the cases, one is against BJP leaders, including veteran L.K. Advani, Kalyan Singh, Uma Bharti, Murli Manohar Joshi and others for their provocative speeches. The other case is against Hindu car sevaks who allegedly demolished the disputed structure. The CBI invoked charge sheets under charges of criminal conspiracy, which were earlier dropped by a special court. And what else made news across the country? Let's take a look in Nationwide. DMK chief M. Karunanidhi appeared in a Chennai court this morning in a defamation case filed against him by Tamil Nadu Chief Minister J. Jayalalitha. The case was regarding an alleged defamatory article published in the party mouthpiece in November last year about the AIADMK government's 4-year rule. The case was adjourned till 10th of March. The Supreme Court has sought the centre's response on the states of welfare schemes like Manrega, National Food Security Act and midday meal schemes in drought-hit states. The Apex Court also directed the states to give information to the centre for the collection of data. The National Green Tribunal today reprimanded the centre and Uttar Pradesh government over pollution in the Ganges. The NGT said that the slogan of the centre as well as the state government are contradictory to the actions being taken. The Green Panel asked the governments to look into the matter seriously. The Supreme Court today issued a notice to the power discoms in New Delhi asking them what objections did they have to being audited by the Office of Comptroller and Auditor General of India. The notice came 3 days after the Delhi government moved the Apex Court on the issue. The Delhi High Court verdict earlier disallowed the CAG audit. Assam Chief Minister Tarun Gogoi today appeared in a court in Guwahati in connection with a 100 crore rupees defamation case filed by BJP leader Himata Biswa Sharma. Sharma was a former minister in the Gogoi cabinet before he joined the BJP. Well, in news at 6, we'll take a very short break. We'll be back with more news. Stay tuned.
Iran set to open up to the world as most trade sanctions against it are lifted. For India and the global community, what does end of the sanctions regime in Iran mean? Watch the big picture at 6:30 p.m. on Rajya Sabha television.
Welcome back. Now, India's merchandise exports contracted for the 13th month in a row in December as global demand remained sluggish. Now, rising volatility in the currency markets also dampened Indian exports, although the blow has been softened a little bit by a slide in the country's oil import bill.
Exports fell for the 13th successive month in December as orders from the United States and Europe shrank and exporters grappled with the competitively weaker Chinese yuan. Outward shipments shrank 14.75% to $22.29 billion against $26.15 billion in December 2014. Gold imports also tripled, raising 179% to $3.8 billion in December, and trade deficit widened to $11.6 billion as against $9.17 billion in December 2014.
The basic custom duty on the raw material should be reduced. Then there is no competition. It is very difficult for the manufacturer. So these irritants should be removed.
Government has an uphill task to boost exports. Industry experts claim that domestic problems like electricity shortages continue to hamper manufacturers. Infrastructure issues like rail, road and port connectivity also not keeping up with demands of the day.
To drive the investment climate, we have to bring in investment in the infrastructure sector. The government is working towards investing there, and public expenditure in infra is going to increase. And we are seeing that started to happen. But along with that, we also need the private sector to come back. They have virtually gone away in the last couple of years. And for them to come back, the problems in the sector needs to be addressed so that they are able to revive and come back.
In November, the government announced a $400 million credit program to help subsidize exports in the coming months. Government has plans to increase India's total export to $900 billion by 2020 by diversifying India's export basket. The target looks too ambitious given that the country's exports have been in the negative zone for over a year now. Kriti Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
And External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj met Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu today. She will also call on Israeli President and a host of other political leaders. In the evening, she is scheduled to address Indian expatriates in Israel. Yesterday, Sushma Swaraj was in Palestine, where she held a meeting with President Mahmoud Abbas and her counterpart Riyad al-Maliki.
On day 2 of a maiden visit to West Asia, External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj will call on Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. The two leaders are expected to review the entire gamut of Indo-Israeli relations, believed to be on the upswing since President Pranab Mukherjee's landmark visit to the country 3 months ago. Later in the evening, Sushma Swaraj will address the Indian diaspora in Israel.
प्रधानमंत्री बेंजामिन नेतन्याहू के साथ उनकी मुलाकात होगी और वार्ता होगी। उसके बाद वो राष्ट्रपति जो हैं इजराइल के, उनके ऊपर कॉल ऑन करेंगी और उसके पश्चात 3-4 कॉल ऑन्स विदेश मंत्री के ऊपर होंगे। जैसा कि एक इनके इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर मंत्री हैं, वो विदेश मंत्री के ऑनर में एक प्रीति भोज रखेंगे और उसके बाद इनके जो डिफेंस मिनिस्टर हैं, रक्षा मंत्री, वो विदेश मंत्री से मिलेंगे और इनके जो डिप्टी फॉरेन मिनिस्टर हैं वो विदेश मंत्री से मिलेंगी। शाम को विदेश मंत्री जो भारतीय समुदाय है इजराइल में, उनको संबोधित करेंगे।
Sushma Swaraj's visit assumes significance in view of a possible visit by Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to India later this year. Prime Minister Narendra Modi may also pay a return visit to Tel Aviv. India has been trying to expand its engagement in the country, which also happens to be its largest supplier of military hardware.
इजराइल की यात्रा के दौरान भी मुझे लग रहा है कि बहुत महत्वपूर्ण बातें होंगी। जैसा कि आप जानते हैं, भारत और इजराइल के जो संबंध हैं बहुत प्रगाढ़ हैं और कई क्षेत्रों में इस समय विस्तृत हैं। डिफेंस की बात लोग करते हैं, लेकिन उसके अलावा जो साइंस एंड टेक्नोलॉजी, इनोवेशन, एग्रीकल्चर, इतने कई फील्ड्स हैं जिसमें भारत और इजराइल बहुत तेज़ी के साथ अपने संबंध जो हैं वो बढ़ा रहे हैं और मुझे उम्मीद है कि कल जो विदेश मंत्री की वार्ता होगी, जो चर्चाएं होंगी, उससे भारत इजराइल संबंध में और भी प्रगाढ़ता आएगी और भी वो सबल हो सकेंगे।
On Sunday, Sushma Swaraj visited the 800-year-old Indian hospice in Jerusalem. Earlier in the day, she was in Palestine, where she met Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas and her counterpart Riyad al-Maliki. The meetings were aimed at reaffirming India's long-standing commitment to the Palestinian cause. She then inaugurated the India-Palestine Digital Learning and Innovation Center at Al-Quds University in Ramallah.
This is yet another example of India's commitment to help its brothers and sisters in Palestine. Friends, I am coming here after fruitful discussions with President Abbas and Foreign Minister Riyad al-Maliki on a wide range of bilateral, multilateral and regional issues. In my meetings, I was happy to see that we have shared views on all issues and there is great warmth in our friendship.
Concluding her day-long Palestine tour, Sushma also visited Bethlehem, the place where Jesus Christ was born. Bureau Report, Rajya TV.
And on to the big international story now. Middle East talks crashed on Monday after international nuclear sanctions were lifted on Iran. And Tehran, that has the 4th largest oil reserves in the world, entered the oil war. Now, global oil prices fell below $28 a barrel. However, just 24 hours after lifting off the sanctions, the US imposed new ones on 11 Iranian companies and individuals.
I am also heartened by the lifting of sanctions against Iran. I hope that the parties now move to fully carry out joint comprehensive plan of action in good faith.
United Nations joining Western powers in welcoming the removal of sanctions on Iran. However, the frenzy was short-lived. Fresh sanctions were imposed on Iranian companies and individuals over ballistic missile test in October. That test was in defiance of a United Nations ban. Iran says the new sanctions have no legal or moral legitimacy. The development casts a shadow over the new, much-hyped bonhomie between the US and Iran.
آنچه می‌خواهیم حل و فصل مسائل منطقه از طریق منطق هست، اما در این حال رفتار غیر دیپلماتیک، رفتار ناصحی مردم ما، دولت ما نخواهد پذیرفت.
The US move came just a day after global economic sanctions on Iran were lifted in line with a deal on its nuclear program. 4 American Iranians in Iran and 7 Iranians in the United States were also freed in a prisoner swap deal.
The real concern is whether the United States will be committed, because already we see that the United States, the Treasury had moved a couple of weeks ago to expand the sanctions, and that from the Iranian perspective was unacceptable.
Meanwhile, the lifting of sanctions had a profound impact on global markets. Oil prices fell below $28 a barrel, with fears that more oil will only feed the market glut. All 7 stock markets in the Gulf states tumbled as panic gripped traders. Iran hopes the latest development will help its economy, bring in foreign capital, and its oil production will return to pre-sanction levels, that is above 3 million barrels a day. India's plans in Iran are also likely to get a boost, which include the Chabahar port, an Indian oil petrochemical plant, and the proposed Iran-Pakistan-India gas pipeline. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
And more international news and updates in Global Buzz. Afghanistan, Pakistan, China and the United States held talks. These talks are aimed at laying the ground for a negotiated and almost 15 years of war between US-supported forces and Taliban insurgents. Taliban forces stepped up their campaign last year to topple the Kabul government, which has struggled since 2014. Pakistan's Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif left for a short visit to Saudi Arabia and Iran today to bridge the growing divide between the two countries. Islamabad has tried to avoid taking sides in the escalating dispute between Saudi Arabia and its main regional rival, Iran. A SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket blasted off from California on Sunday to put a climate monitoring satellite into the orbit. SpaceX then planned to attempt to land the rocket on a barge in the Pacific Ocean. Being able to land at sea gives the company flexibility to recover rockets used on more demanding missions. And on to sports now. Well, the BCCI Disciplinary Committee today imposed bans on Ajit Chandela and Hikain Shah in the IPL spot fixing case. Rajasthan Royals player Chandela was given a life ban for his role in the IPL 2013 tournament. Mumbai cricketer Hikain Shah was handed a 5-year ban for breaching the board's anti-corruption code.
BCCI's disciplinary committee announcing its verdict in the Indian Premier League spot fixing case. Rajasthan Royals off-spinner Ajit Chandela given a life ban, while Mumbai cricketer Hikain Shah was handed a 5-year ban for breaching the anti-corruption code.
क्रिकेट भी साफ सुथरी रहे, उसके लिए भी जो कठोर से कठोर निर्णय भी बीसीसीआई को करने पड़ेंगे, हमने पूर्व में भी किए हैं, चाहे वो प्रशासक हो या खिलाड़ी हो, और भविष्य के लिए भी कोई खिलाड़ी जिसने गलत काम पूर्व में किया होगा उसके ऊपर निर्णय लेने में बीसीसीआई कदम पीछे नहीं बल्कि आगे बढ़ाएगी और कड़े से कड़े निर्णय लेगी.
Chandela was handed a tougher punishment for violating the code on accepting bribes, fixing, underperforming, trying to induce a fellow player and betting. Shah was punished for making a corrupt approach to a fellow Mumbai player in the domestic circuit. Both had appeared in person before the committee on last December and were given time till 4th of January to file a written response.
I think there is a reason for difference. Chandela's role was more than Hikain Shah, so really I think the ban is absolutely justified and the BCCI has taken the correct action.
The hearing of Pakistani umpire Asad Rauf, whose name also come up in an IPL bribery case, was also scheduled for Monday. Rauf did not appear in person but sent a letter stating that no fair inquiry has been conducted in his matter. The 3-member committee deferred a decision on him till 12th of February, giving him a final deadline of 9th of February to file his reply. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, that's all in this edition of News at 6. But news and updates continue on your channel. Keep watching Rajya Sabha TV.